What's up, gay gang? Cucumber Dog is here to let you know what's happening in the world with all the most important things. All of your most important subjects covered here on this channel. Yeah, God, what am I doing with my life? Logan Paul has seemed to have a pretty rough 2023. You know, he started the year off pretty hot with his whole crypto rug pull that he did. And now, leading up to this fight he has going on with Dillon Danis, just the PR around him has been quite awful, including from, and I've got to say, I have drinking the drama Kool-Aid and I've been infatuated with what's going on with Logan Paul. Logan doesn't really need much of an introduction. He's one of the most famous YouTubers of all time, alongside of his younger brother, Jake Paul. He rose to fame doing vlog-style content, pioneering the cringy YouTuber rap scene. He early on transitioned into the YouTuber boxer sphere. He does have quite the athletic background, but he kind of moved away from boxing and signed a deal with the WWE and moved into professional wrestling. Earlier this year, in I believe around February, he got caught with a crypto rug pull, the classic YouTube maneuver. Cryptozoo was a crypto promoted and owned by Logan Paul and his business partners. It had some video game-like elements to it. Essentially, the game part never really seemed to work. Logan cashed out and left his fans rug pulled. YouTuber Coffeezilla did an expose on him, which I'd recommend if you want the full story. Logan pretty much pinned all the blame on his partners while keeping all of the money he made, and when Coffee called him out, he then apologized and promised to pay back the 1.8 million he took from his fans, but never did and basically never mentioned it publicly again. In July of 2023, Logan would release a video of him getting engaged to his then girlfriend and now fiance, Nina Agdal. Nina is a Danish model who's been on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit model as well as Maxim magazine. Now, usually proposing to a woman that said yes wouldn't really be an integral part of this story, but in comes Dillon Danis. Logan has a upcoming boxing fight with Bellator MMA fighter Dillon Danis, who's been on this brutal marketing campaign to get inside Logan Paul's head. Dillon on his Twitter page has been exposing Nina for having, well, quite a few boyfriends in her past. Some of the more notable boyfriends of Nina are Joe Jonas, Adam Levine, Max George, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Brinkley Cook. Ooh, not only does it not stop there, it does get way worse. Dillon Danis pretty much exposes that she slept with almost every single guy in LA, famous or not. This list includes the CEO of Goodyear Tires, Wolverine, 2 gay firefighters, Ja Rule, a homeless midget, a Reddit mod, pre-Attack of the Clone replacement Jamie Foxx, 4 gay guys, probably fans of mine, the British dude from that Netflix documentary, King James III, Mariah Carey's wife, The Flash, Riff Raff, whoever this guy is, Malcolm in the Middle, Bill Gates, American Pie, George Lucas, a young Andre the Giant, and Indian Nicolas Cage. This is like a quarter of the list, by the way. I cut most of it out. Needless to say, the internet has been flaming Logan for proposing to a hooker. Listen, it's one thing for your girl to have a past, and I think, though ideal, it's a little unrealistic for you to look exclusively for a trad wife that is a virgin. But it's another thing for a girl's body count to be more than an entire panel of women on the whatever podcast.
Are you crazy?
I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes.
Like you want to what?
I'm daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait, show the tattoo to the camera right here.
And the fun does not stop there. No. There's also a lot of internet sleuths started digging into her past in interviews and things of that nature and found a lot of clips to support her sexual appetites. We have her saying this.
I don't really think penises are that pretty, so I prefer you to hide it inside.
And this.
I sucked a dick in a football stadium full of people once.
Here, she's clearly drunk in an interview.
Peeps would make me eggs and bacon. A lot of bacon and sausage. And then we would go to a basketball game. And then he would cook me dinner again, like a good steak with a good sauce and some potatoes, maybe some green beans. And then after that, you know what happens.
And is exposed for having a gangbang with Diplo.
He sees you walk up into a private room with, I'm not gonna say the name because I would never say Nina Agdal's name, but he followed you back up in there and you reamed his ass out.
All I know is that was a great party.
all the Sports Illustrated models were definitely on MDMA. I think that's how they were having a good time because it was a pretty weird party. But yeah, that did happen, and well, thanks for the privacy. Yeah.
Happy Punch reported that Logan sent a threat of legal action to Dennis, which I can understand why he might be salty in this situation. This is an incredibly tough pill to swallow. This is like swallowing a shot glass full of cum. He also started blocking people on Twitter who even just mention his name. We are still weeks away from this fight, but he did recently have his first press conference with Dillon Danis. Prior to the presser, Dillon makes the claim on Twitter that he has a pic of Nina that is so heinous, it would not only cancel the fight, but put him in a legal self-defense situation, which I assume it means this is some sort of revenge porn. Andrew Tate was even able to jump in and validate that this thing does exist. So during the presser, Danis comes out cosplaying as Logan from the infamous Japanese video.
You like my hat?
It's a good hat.
It's a good hat, right?
It's a nice hat.
I'm gonna wear that when I knock him unconscious, so.
Okay.
In the name of the Japanese people.
Logan does some corny tactics like bringing out a cake in the shape of Danis, which is funny if you're 13, but in a presser, if you want to win the presser, I mean, it's a battle of wits, not, I don't know, a great British bake-off. It's actually a pretty good joke for off the top of the head. This press conference was in London, so whatever. Logan was super lame. The highlight for sure is this exchange between the two of them where Danis clearly got the upper hand.
You don't gotta take that out on me because my brother hooked up with your ex.
At least I got rid of this slut. You're marrying one.
Dillon. Run your mouth all you want.
75 bodies she's been with, buddy. I
Damn
still
well
got
you
more.
ain't ever been with any girl as beautiful as my girl.
Yeah, okay.
My lovely
Every
fiance,
single guy in
my
New York is
sweetheart
been
who I
with her,
love
baby.
so much.
Relax.
My superstar whose apartment costs more than your entire net
Because
worth.
Leonardo DiCaprio paid for it.
Logan's relationship with his brother is honestly extremely interesting to me. This is probably the most interesting part of the story. It has a striking resemblance to the tale of Jacob and Esau from the book of Genesis. Esau, the older of two brothers, should be the patriarch of the family after the father passes away due to birthright, but his actions as a man show that he is self-centered and not thinking about the family's future, but solely his own. Jacob, the younger brother, is clearly better suited for this role as the new patriarch of the family, and this creates a sinful jealousy in Esau. The jealousy, which I guess personifies the devil or sin or whatever, continues to eat Esau's soul because he doesn't really address the situation, and just it permeates and things only get worse, and it fractures the relationship between the two brothers, etc., etc., etc. So keep this in mind because there's just like a lot of parallels between, like, you know, this classic tale of two brothers and Jake and Logan Paul. Logan has Jake on his pod. An episode I have no idea why it was ever released. Well, I know why, obviously. It's the whole content over everything mindset, which I hate so much. The idea that being internet famous is more important than your relationships and your overall happiness. It's just like, it's just an insane way to live. It's so self-centered, which is why you should subscribe to this channel, because if I get to 3,000 subscribers, I will literally do anything you ask me to do. So the podcast really kind of just makes both of them look really awful. They end up getting into this fairly heated argument that really should have been kept personal and off camera. So by releasing it, it really just makes both of them look bad, even though I think one of them was clearly in the right here. Also, a quick side note, Logan Paul is the type of individual to sleep with his brother's ex-girlfriend to get back at him in some kind of weird internet rap beef.
Oh, that's Alyssa Violet, used to be your chick. Now she in the low gang, and you know she on my...
So to catch you up on the lore of what led up to this argument, they're talking about KSI. KSI is on the same card. He's actually the main event on the card that Logan and Dillon Danis will be fighting on in October. Tommy Fury will be fighting KSI at this event, and Tommy Fury is also the first and only person to beat Jake Paul in a fight, which happened earlier this year. So Logan is going on about how he wants to fight Tommy next to get revenge for his brother, and Jake is like, nah, I need that rematch. Like, this isn't your business. You should stay out of it. That's so true. Logan had an exhibition fight against Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest, if not the greatest boxer of all time, but still an exhibition fight, so it doesn't really have any stakes attached to it. And he had one pro fight against KSI, which he lost. Like or dislike the Paul brothers, undoubtedly though, Jake is a legit boxer. Like, he has had legit fights against legit competitors, and there's no arguing that. Logan, as I mentioned before, kind of moved away from boxing to do WWE. There's nothing wrong with that, but the idea that they're on the same level, it's just, it can't physically be true.
I think I'm better.
Actually be able to knock him out. He definitely has the power for sure. Floyd is clearly past his prime and he is a much smaller opponent than Jake is, which is also true for Logan now that I'm thinking about it. Jake then calls out his brother on his insane ego for him framing everything as people being afraid to fight him.
I'm tired of not being picked because you're an easier fight.
Is that what you really think in your head?
His ego is just on full display here. The fact that he actually thinks that people are afraid to fight him, and I mean like real fighters, not KSI influencers, that real fighters are afraid to fight him because he is the easier fight on paper is insane. Real fighters want real fights. Like, it's not all about the money to them. They're athletes. They want to be tested. They want to push themselves and progress forward. For context, Jake owns his own sports gambling company and is partnered with a sports drink, and Logan owns his own sports drink and is partnered with a sports gambling company. Just didn't want Logan to be there promoting his competing brands. That's honestly like a pretty fair thing to say. Logan is clearly only thinking about himself. Jake would go on his podcast just a few days later and give like a really down to earth, like level-headed take on the situation, on how him and his brother came off to the public.
This is what's stupid about it is like, I don't know why he put that out. Like, I was telling him and his team, like, why are you putting this out? No one wins here. And then his team is like clapping like, no, this is great content. Now it's like starting to unravel and like reveal itself, and like clearly he has envy and jealousy towards me, and that's what I told him off camera. And he's like, no, but it like everyone sees it. It's like clear as day. And basically like off camera he was basically like, no, like I never respected you when we were kids. And he drops diss track and Take Higher Road. He does it, Take Higher Road, Take Higher Road, Take Higher Road, and
he
like
fucks your girlfriend.
Yeah, and exactly. And it's like, Take Higher Road, don't expose that. Oh, now he wants to expose it himself. Okay. But I just don't even perpetuate it.
Damn, man, that's sad. I feel really bad for Jake. I know Jake said he'd never fight his brother, but man, that's such a good story. All paths are pointing towards them two eventually having to come to some kind of physical conflict in the ring. That'd be such a huge event.
Did you see that picture of when you won your fight against Nate Diaz and everybody's cheering and Logan's sitting there?
I didn't think it was real. It seems fake, but it's not. There's like a video of it too. And I just don't get it. I just can't believe it.
This is the video that they were referencing. Everyone in the ring is super happy for Jake, who just won, except for Logan, who's in the ring and had a match at WWE just hours before. Jumped on a private jet to go watch his brother win, and is now standing there, surrounded by people, alone. No one paying attention to him. And that's basically a recap of Logan Paul's 2023. I think the perfect cap to this would be him losing against Dylan Dennis, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see for that one. That is a pay-per-view I'm definitely going to watch. But I guess, yeah, that's it. Bye.